Hey guys, I'm Phil the Blank, so welcome back to another NPC. We're on part 3 of Who Should Get Cut from Smash Brothers. In case this is your first time tuning in, I really suggest watching the first 2 episodes where we cover Smash 64 and Melee for GameCube. What this is basically is just, what if the next Smash Brothers after Ultimate isn't quite so Ultimate, and they decide to go back to a very, very thinned down roster? Who do we keep and who do we get rid of? Who deserves to stay and who might get another chance another time? We've cut out only about 10 characters so far out of the first 2 games. It's 26 characters total. So we only have 16 characters in our roster at the moment. My goal is to have a roster about 30 to 35 characters. So with 16 characters still on the roster, I'm probably going to have to do some cuts later on after I'm done all this. So, you know, that'll be fun. But now we are going on to the 3rd Smash Bros. Game, and I think probably the most divisive Smash Bros. Game. That is 2008's Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. Smash Bros. 64 added a lot of the obvious ones because it was the very first one. It added the main heroes to the main games of Nintendo, while Melee added a lot of secondary characters and a lot of weird characters. I find a lot of the characters that I cut from Melee were ones that had no business being in Smash Brothers in the first place. Now Brawl's a pretty good a bunch of additions. They added a lot of the characters that are that's sort of about time. So let's take a look, see who deserves to stay. Alright. Number 27, Meta Knight. Meta Knight is the anti-hero from the Kirby series. He's a great character, and I think he deserves to stay. He's really, in my opinion, pivotal to the Kirby games. It's him and King Dedede that you see almost every single game. And there are other villains to Kirby, like Dark Matter and all of that, but Meta Knight's one of those characters he's a fan favorite. He's great in the Kirby games, but he fights completely different than Kirby does. So yeah, I totally think Meta Knight should stay. He's just a great character, and a lot of the things that he does are in the Kirby games are his moves in Smash Brothers. And I think that the Kirby games have actually taken some stuff from Smash Brothers to incorporate into the Kirby games for Meta Knight. So I think he's actually a great character, all-around fantastic addition to the series. Number 28, Pit from Kid Icarus. If I had made this list 10 years ago, I would have said no. Cut Pit, because Pit hadn't had a game since 1991 or something for it was Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters for the Game Boy. Since then, of course, with Smash Bros. Brawl and Pit's inclusion in it, he was rebooted in Kid Icarus Uprising, which was a fantastic game with a lot of problems. But since then, the series has gone completely dark. So that's a huge shame, first of all, because I really liked Uprising, even though, again, it had a lot of problems, mainly with its controls. It's really frustrating that no one seems to have taken the Kid Icarus series up. They added a lot of new cool characters that some I just think deserve to be in Smash, to be honest. And a great universe with a great sense of humor, some great writing. It's a phenomenal game. Now, my inclusion of Pit in Smash Bros. Is very dependent on whether or not they're going to do anything with Kid Icarus, the series. He's very much like the Captain Falcon conundrum that I had with the Smash 64 character. If, in this weird universe that I'm making a Smash Bros. Game, if they're not going to make a new Kid Icarus game, then I do not think Pit deserves to come back. He should be cut. But if Kid Icarus is coming back in some form, they're going to make a new game between now and the next Smash Bros. Game, then I think keep him. Again, just like Captain Falcon. If Captain Falcon's not going to have a game since 2004 and they're not going to continue the series, he doesn't deserve to come back. So, Pit, I'm going to keep him for now, assuming that they're going to make a new Kid Icarus game between now and the next Smash Brothers thing. So, yeah, let's keep Pit for now. Number 29, Zero Suit Samus. I'm going to level with you guys. I hate Zero Suit Samus. I think she's one of the worst additions to Smash in general. Why take a character who, in the game where they're from, is known for something specific, in Samus's case, a giant friggin' power suit thing with an arm cannon, and taking that away and making a character that's basically not that character. That's like taking a Fire Emblem character and taking away their sword and armor, or putting in Ryu from Street Fighter but not giving him the Hadoken or Shoryuken or whatever. And I know that Zero Suit Samus has been an actual character in the actual Metroid games. You can play as her in some of the games, and specifically she's from like Zero Mission, the section where she sneaks around and uses the gun as an emergency pistol. But there you go. Why is that a fun character to put in Smash Bros? The character who has to sneak around and use an emergency pistol? Nothing about Zero Suit Samus in Smash is from the actual Metroid games. They made the pistol into a whip of all things, because a whip is really what Samus would actually use, isn't it? No, of course not. Friggin' rocket high-heeled boots, it's a stupid idea. And they had to make basically an entire character just to fit the idea of Zero Suit Samus. It's ludicrous. That's not what Samus is about in her games. And you can say the same about Fox and Captain Falcon. Well, they're known for their vehicles in their games. And, you're absolutely right. But that's a workaround because there's no other way to have that character in Smash. You can't have Fox in the R-Wing other than like a Final Smash. You can't have Captain Falcon in the Blue Falcon. But the idea of taking Samus outside of her power suit just because it was in a couple games is stupid. There's way better choices for Metroid representatives. I have no idea why she's even in the game. She's dumb. Cut her. 30. Wario. I am not a fan with what they did to Wario in Smash Bros., but I still think he deserves to stay, because Wario has gotten himself so far away from Mario. I mean, yeah, he's in Mario Party. Yeah, he's in Mario Kart. But the Wario that they've been pushing for Smash Bros. Is based on WarioWare, and it's based on Wario Land. And I think that's great. And I think Wario is good enough to be his own representative of his own series, similar to how Yoshi is, and definitely similar to how Donkey Kong is. So Wario I would definitely keep, just make him as far removed from the Mario version of Wario as possible to kind of keep him. 31. Snake. Alright, let's get into the idea of third-party characters. I'll be honest, before they announced Snake, I was totally against the idea of third-party characters in Smash Bros. I'm not even still 100% on board, to be honest. Smash Bros. To me is a celebration of Nintendo, or at least it was. Then they added Snake, and I thought that was really weird. I was like, out of all the third-party characters, why would you add Snake? Now there's quite a few third-party characters, and for the most part I think they've done a really good job of selecting characters that are super iconic to video games in general. I still think it's very weird that Snake's in Smash because he's not iconic of Nintendo. And you could argue, well, there have been Metal Gear games for Nintendo, and you're right, and Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge were widely not very liked. And even Hideo Kojima has said that they don't represent his vision for the Metal Gear games. I mean, the original Metal Gear games were actually on a Sony system, the Sony MSX, not on a Nintendo system. And then you have ports of the Metal Gear Solid games on a Nintendo system, but they're not the original versions. So they're just ports, enhanced ports, but just ports all the same. That being said, I think Snake himself is absolutely iconic enough in the video game industry to deserve a spot in Smash Bros. That being said, out of all the third-party characters that I'm going to keep, he's probably going to be the first one cut if I need to make cuts near the end. But for now, let's keep Snake. Number 32, Ike. Ike is from Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn, and Path of Radiance. I forget which one comes first. And he is, he was added to Brawl because that was the newest Fire Emblem. And I totally understand why they put him in Smash, because, he's the advertisement for the current Fire Emblem. But cut him. He's just like Roy in the sense that he's just a guy from a random Fire Emblem game. He's not even from the most popular Fire Emblem game. So having him, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever, after his original games, it doesn't make sense. To some people, he's iconic of, the real westernization of Fire Emblem. Now that, at that point, Fire Emblem was big enough to have games straight up come out to North America, and he was the first major character from a North American Fire Emblem game, because Marth hadn't been in a game in North America yet other than Smash. Roy still has not been in a game other than Smash in North America, unless you count the ending of Fire Emblem for Game Boy Advance. So you'd think Ike would make a good choice, but I honestly don't think he's up there enough compared to at least one other Fire Emblem character other than Marth. So yeah, unfortunately I would cut Ike, which sucks, because he's my friggin' second main, so damn. Number 33, 34, and 35. Pokemon Trainer. So basically Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Alright, let's get into this. I love the idea of Pokemon Trainer. I think it's one of the best ideas in Smash Brothers. It's super, super, super cool. I am keeping Pokemon Trainer, but I am cutting Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Because in my opinion, if you're going to have a Pokemon Trainer who uses the starters, it should be for whatever the newest Pokemon game is. There's way too many Pokemon from Gen 1, let's just get that out of the way. Way too many. And yes, I know that Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard, and specifically Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur are like the three main starters. They're the ones that like almost everyone thinks of. At least old people like me, but they were big in 1996 and 1998 in Japan and North America respectively. Since then, there have been an amazing amount of iconic starter Pokemon, and I think just keeping it with those three is silly. I love the idea of Pokemon Trainer. I definitely want him back, but I don't want it to be Red, for example. I don't want it to be Leaf, which is what they did in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Great idea, but if they were to tone down the roster, or at least change the roster, the only way I'd want to keep Pokemon Trainer is if they make him the main character for whatever the next Pokemon game is, and introduce the next generation of Pokemon. So similar to what Roy was in Melee, that advertisement for the next game, I think Pokemon Trainer should consistently be the advertisement for the next game. 36. Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is kind of like the Luigi of the Donkey Kong series. He's DK's best buddy, he's the second in command, he is a great character. I mean, he's had his own game, Diddy's Conquest, which is a phenomenal game. I'd say keep Diddy Kong for now. He's on that line, and you might be angry because I cut Falco out last time. It's like, well, Falco is Star Fox's Luigi. Yeah, but Falco fights almost identically to Fox. Even if they fought differently, they're both very similar. They're both pilots. They both have laser guns. They both have military training. Diddy Kong is a lightweight. I think he's a chimpanzee, or a spider monkey, I don't know, people have been correcting me for that every time I talk about Diddy Kong. While Donkey Kong's a gorilla, they both have extraordinarily different styles, and they're both extraordinarily different types of characters. So I think Diddy Kong is iconic enough, and separate enough from Donkey Kong to earn a spot. That being said, he's low on my priority list, which means I wouldn't be surprised if he might get cut when I do final cuts at the end of all this. Number 37, Lucas. I'm a little surprised I didn't get a lot of hate about cutting Ness in the very first episode of this thing. And I think it's because most people saw where I was going with this, and that is because I'm keeping Lucas, and not Ness. And the reason for that is because, like I said with Ness, Ness is just the main character of one of the Mother games. It is definitely an iconic one. Earthbound is huge worldwide. And you can't really do anything with Nintendo because Nintendo is just Ness, and let's be honest, out of all the three Mother games, Mother 1 or Earthbound Beginnings or whatever you want to call it is definitely the least popular one and the one that no one seems to really care about. Mother 3, however, is a phenomenon. I know that sounds weird because it's never come out in North America or outside of Japan. I think that's the point. This is a game that people have been asking for over 10 years, and Nintendo's even had to say something about it. It's not like a lot of other things where people are like, oh, bring this guy, bring Waluigi into Smash, bring Fire Emblem blah 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 out, whatever. And Nintendo ignores it. But Mother 3 has such a huge fan base worldwide that Nintendo's actually had to comment on it. If that doesn't say that Mother 3 is a powerful game, then I don't know what does. And Lucas is from that game. He's the main character from, at least I think he's the main character. I know that the game jumps around a lot, and I still have not played Mother 3. I really need to. But Lucas, being from Mother 3, is the face of the current landscape of the Mother series. So I think, if anything, he deserves to stay more than Ness. Now, you could say, well, Phil, what about Pit? Not keeping Pit if they don't make another Kid Icarus game. Are you going to keep Lucas if they're not going to make another Mother game? Yes. I honestly think Mother has done more for the Nintendo universe than Pit and Kid Icarus has. If it's another 10 years or whatever, 20 years, and there's still another Mother game, or Mother 3 still doesn't come out in North America, yeah, cut Lucas, but for now, yeah, I'd keep Lucas. Lucas is really important in the meta of Nintendo, way more than just the game that he's from. Number 38, Sonic the Hedgehog. If I had to choose one and only one third-party character to join in Smash Bros., you better friggin' believe it's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog. He is the entire epitome of the video game wars of the 90s. He is Mario's main rival. I think Sonic the Hedgehog absolutely, totally, fully deserves a spot in Smash Bros. As a permanent resident. Like, he's so perfect for Smash. And I love how much he fits in with these Nintendo characters. He looks like he belongs there. He's great. It's funny because when they announced Sonic for Smash Bros., it was such an anticlimactic thing. I woke up in the morning, I went to the Smash Bros. Website, and they're like, oh, by the way, Sonic's here. Here's a trailer, I guess. But the first thing that you saw was just a big picture of Sonic. He's like, oh, Sonic's in Smash. And I was freaking out. Now, what sucked about that was, and this is, in my opinion, one of the worst handled reveals to anything ever, was that a few weeks or months prior, they had announced Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, which made that the very first Mario and Sonic crossover. Really, that? Olympics? You couldn't have announced Sonic the Hedgehog for Smash Bros. First? To be the first thing that we've ever seen Mario and Sonic interact with? Now, I've heard that Sonic was added really late in development, and I mean, judging by the look of, like, the placement of numbers, I could see that. It is weird how he's 38 and he doesn't have a point in the story mode, but we still have like 6 other characters that, like, a couple of them had important parts in the story mode, so it's kind of weird how Sonic was, they claim that he was added so late, but he's still kind of right in the middle here of additions, numerical additions to Smash Bros. But yeah, maybe that's why they didn't announce him until after Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Who knows? Anyways, all that's besides the point. Look, we're keeping Sonic. Moving on, man. Number 39, King Dedede. King Dedede is a villain? I still don't really know. He's a villain in some games. I think he's just an asshole. I think that's the whole point. He's just a dick. He's from Kirby, and I think he deserves to stay. He is the first villain from Kirby's Dream Land, and I think if you were going to put, like, straight up, we need a villain representative from Kirby, that's King Dedede. I know Kirby's the type of game where everything's fun and happy and cute, you know, until you get to the end of some of the games where angel eyeballs bleed on you, and then it gets all terrifying because, jeez, what are you smoking, people at Nintendo? But until those points, everything's really happy and cute. So even the villains are sort of like happy and cute, and that's King Dedede. So if you had to choose one character to be the villain, it's King Dedede. And I do think that every single franchise in Smash Brothers, if they have someone that makes sense, should have a hero and should have a villain. And King Dedede is that villain. So yeah, keep him. Number 40, Olimar from Pikmin. Pikmin is a game that I enjoy. I've only played the first 2. I haven't played 3 or Hey Pikmin, I think it's called, for the 3DS, which looks really cute. And I know that people are waiting for Pikmin 4 to be announced, and that'd be really cool. Olimar is definitely a character that, as much as I hate using, he is my least played character. I can't stand using him. But he deserves to stay. If Pikmin was only one game, or had ended with the GameCube and they didn't bring a new one with Pikmin 3, they didn't do Hey Pikmin, and there wasn't words on Pikmin 4, then I'd say cut him. But I think Olimar is a really cool idea for a character. He's not iconic compared to a lot of people. Like, most people, I think out of like almost anyone on this list, most people are not going to know who Olimar is, which is a shame. But I mean, he's okay. I think he should be included. He is an IP of Nintendo, and they are still making games for it. But like a lot of the other characters that I've been mentioning, he's on the lower priority. So let's see how long he lasts. Number 41, Lucario. Lucario, he was always a weird addition for me. People seem to love Lucario, and I kind of get it. I mean, he's the friggin' emo edgelord Pokemon. He's Shadow the Hedgehog in Pokemon form. He's got martial arts, and he's got auras, and he could talk in the movie. I don't care. I don't care. Cut him. He's just a random Pokemon to me. And that's the problem with Pokemon in general, is that so many of these characters are just random Pokemon. Unless you include the anime or whatever. But Lucario, I don't think he's important in any of the games, is he? And I'm actually asking that question. I've only played the main Pokemon games and, like, one of the mystery dungeons, and, like, hey, you Pikachu. So, I don't know if Lucario is actually important in the Pokemon, like, canon. I don't know. And I don't mean the anime. Let's cut the anime out of there. I don't know. I just think it's weird. This is going to be a controversial standpoint, but I think the only Pokemon that deserve to be in a Smash Bros. Game are either starters, Pikachu, because Pikachu's the mascot, or legendaries. I'm surprised there's not more legendaries in Pokemon. They've all been, like, starters that have been, upgraded or evolved into their final forms, which I don't think is a bad thing, because they're emblematic of their own Pokemon game. So I get it. But yeah, Lucario's not, though. He's just a Pokemon from Ruby and Sapphire. Come. Number 42, Rob. Rob is adorable. He's an incredibly fun addition to Smash Brothers. But he's an accessory. He's a toy. He's not a video game character. He's important in Nintendo's history. I totally agree with that. But he's not iconic, other than the whole we needed to make a character so that parents thought that the Nintendo was a toy, not a video game system, because no one bought video game systems back in the 85 because of the death of the video game industry at that time. So Rob is not super iconic. I'd rather have Game & Watch over Rob. If you're going to pick something that's from, like, that era of gaming, I would pick Game & Watch. Rob is a cute idea, but I think it's weird that they've actually kept bringing him back. Yeah, sorry, Rob. 43, Toon Link. Do I even need to go into detail with this? No, cut Toon Link. There's 3 links. No. I mean, hell, I'm gonna cut Young Link for the most part. I mean, I went on this whole spiel about the only way they should keep Young Link is if they did all these crazy different things. Toon Link doesn't have that option. I mean, you could say, well, Toon Link's been in a few games, by himself, like Phantom Hourglass and Dumb Train Game. And sure, but I mean, like, he doesn't do crazy amounts of things different that Adult Link and Young Link can't already do. He's not so important that he gets his own thing. The only thing I can think of is, like, the 4 Swords stuff. And even then, you could just make Young Link do that stuff, because, I don't know, is it really Toon Link in Minish Cap, or is it Young Link in Minish Cap? Or is it, like, a weird combination of the two? Regardless, Toon Link should be a skin for Young Link, if Young Link even sticks around. So, no, Toon Link is... Jeez, why, man? Number 44, Wolf. The last addition to Smash Bros. Brawl. Wolf... Whether to keep Wolf or not, man. Like Falco, I don't like how close he is to Fox, and I appreciate how different they've been making him every time he's been in. I mean, he's only been in 2, but at the same time, I've also said that I think that a villain character for most of these series should be there if they're applicable. And, jeez, like, if they changed Wolf a lot, keep him, but damn it, man. Like, Wolf is a conundrum for me. He really is. Similar to the way Falco was, but I think even more so. Because I think Wolf in general deserves to be in Smash more than Falco does. Because he's a villain. But he's still so damn close to Fox. Like, holy shit, you need to... If you're going to add characters from Star Fox, add characters from Star Fox that are different. Like, I know I've ranted about this a lot before, but where the frig is Crystal? I would cut out Falco and Wolf to have Crystal into Smash, because, like, she's from Star Fox, but she would play completely differently. Anyways, okay, well, look, we're keeping Wolf only because he's a villain. I hate the way he's so close to Fox, and again, I like using him too, because he's a harder hitting version of Fox, and I like that a lot. But god, there's so many characters that are so similar, because there's 75 playable characters, and that's the big problem. That's why I'm doing this, right? To keep people that are so similar from being in the same game. Anyways, let's keep Wolf for now. Alright, I'm actually quite surprised at how few characters I cut from this one. Like, geez, we gotta be above the 30-something. Like, we were at 16 last time? We must be nearing 30 now, and that's not good. We've got 2 games left to go. In the end, I actually think that says a lot of how well thought out Brawl's additions were. I mean, I only cut Zero Suit Samus, I cut Ike, I cut Lucario, and Rob and Toon Link. But I kept the rest. That's pretty good. Now, there are a lot on this list, on Brawl's list, that are on that like line of whether or not I'll cut them. So who knows? The end, I might cut a lot more characters from Brawl. But in the end, I actually think this is a pretty good lineup of characters that they added to Brawl. So, all right, in the comments, how much do you hate me? Did I cut your favorite character? Do I deserve death? You know, like whatever. Tell me who you would cut from Brawl. This one was a hard one, actually. I think I'll actually have a way easier time with the next two games. I think this was definitely the hardest one to cut characters, which, you know, is... Oh my god, it really shows that a lot of characters in Nintendo's catalog of characters deserve to stay on Smash Brothers. This is going to be a lot harder to cut down to 30 to 35 than I thought, but that is it for today. Next time we will look at Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS, or Smash 4 as I like to mostly call it. Hopefully we'll have a lot more cuts there. I mean, I think so. There's DLC for the first time, a lot more third-party characters, not all of which deserve to come back. So tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time for more of Who Should We Cut from Smash Brothers on NPC. Take care, guys.